What social customs do we need to retire? Sleep deprivation pride. I don't know why my coworkers are boasting that they slept 4 hours last night. When I worked in security, I had a coworker who stayed for 3 back-to-back shifts, 24 hours, at minimum wage, and then drove themselves home because their relief guy didn't show up. This wasn't a high security situation and the manager could have found someone else if the guard had refused to stay. I had so many moments working in security where I put my foot down for my health, sanity, and self-respect and said, yeah, I'm not doing that for minimum wage. I have this cough, but I came to work anyway because I'm so dedicated to my career. Caste system in India. It's 21st century and about 200 million untouchable people in India cannot have a normal life, normal career. They cannot even have justice in case a crime is committed against them. I think we would all be so much happier with a 4-day work week and 3-day weekend. A 4-day work week, but having Wednesday off is where it's at. I had that schedule in college, and having a day off in the middle of the week to rest and or catch up on stuff is great. Though it looks like this custom is fading away during the pandemic, but how about we stop glorifying us being model employees by showing up to work even while sick? I was at a retailer for 14 years, and I don't have enough fingers and toes to count how many times I used to see managers and supervisors dragging themselves to work while sick to please their superiors. In January 2020, I ended up getting the flu from a coworker that decided it would impress the store manager if she still showed up while sick with the flu. That culture went away real quick when we started getting COVID cases in the store I was at, and I too ended up getting a mild case of COVID. I've called out any time in the past when I felt sick, and I will continue to do so as I normally did. That because someone is family, you should force yourself to spend time with them and be nice and respectful, no matter what kind of person they are or how they treat you. This goes along with the enabling acceptance of that's just how they are, rather than condemning poor behavior choices. My fiance's family are these people. They've all acted like spoiled pieces of shit multiple times over the years and have absolutely shat on my fiance every time they do it. They stopped doing it to me early on because I refused to take their bullshit. They will all shout and scream at her about how she's got life so easy because she's in a good relationship and has a job, but none of them make any effort to change their lives in any positive way. Of course, once they're done shitting on her, if she doesn't talk to them for a while, she's the asshole for ignoring her mother and sisters. Dressing for your age. I didn't survive the past 30 some years for a shit stain Gen Z on TikTok to tell me what I can wear. I finally have the dollars and freedom from parents and employers. You better believe I wear what I want where I want. Living out your childhood dreams feels way better than dressing appropriate for my age. To have approval from people who won't remember me, and we all gonna die anyway. Colorful clothes for the win. Peer pressuring into socially accepted but potentially dangerous activities. For example, in many countries in Asia, many circles expect you to drink alcohol with them. Even though it's slowly changing, there still exist severe cases like seniors physically forcing juniors to drink alcohol. Hierarchy/seniority in workplaces should be lessened as well. In some places, seniors hold way too much authority over juniors. In Denmark we have this tradition of throwing ground cinnamon and pepper at people who turn 25 and 30, respectively, if they are not yet married. Except people often overdo it, strapping the victim to a street light and use an entire kilogram or more. It's harsh, stupid, and wasteful. It really needs to stop. Treating someone with extra deference or respect because of their social station or occupation. Just because someone is a politician, judge, a cop, or owns a business shouldn't mean anything as far as social interactions go. As far as I'm concerned, everyone I meet gets a base level of respect, and they can earn or lose it by the way they behave. Perfect attendance in school or being penalized for missing classes due to sickness. This creates perfect little diseases spreaders and future workaholics. This is also setting up a kid's life to be like what others mentioned in this thread this far. Coming into work sick, believing their work life is more important than home life, etc. Expecting tipping for everything. How about employers pay living wages and we won't have to tip? Went to a baseball game this weekend, and the people running the concession stand now flip the screen for a tip. WTF. They literally punch in the order for the food that you grab from under a hot light and bring to the register. Too much. In North America, at least, shaming young people for still living with their parents. For decades before, you could afford to leave at 18 and get your own place and go to school. Then right after that, get your house to build your own family. That became the social norm here. The inflated cost of living and the fact that wages haven't kept pace have made that a pipe dream. Yet we still think it's shameful for a 25 years old to still be living with mommy and daddy. This needs to die. Pink for girls, blue for boys. People say it's traditional, but I've read it was invented in 30s by some American clothing store chain, whose marketers realized they gonna sell more if the baby clothes colors are separated by genders. In history, people didn't know the sex of the baby before it was born, and it took longer time to buy and sew everything, so they had to do it in advance. Also, the clothes were inherited from the older kids more. The overprotective father, pulling out his shotgun when the daughter's new boyfriend comes over. Wouldn't a conversation with the young man as to your expectations be more productive rather than trying to instill fear? Also, do you not trust your daughter to make good decisions for herself? This needs to end. All the showers, bridal, baby, the torture of games, and watching them open presents. Please just stop forcing people to participate in these traditions. So in keeping with tradition, we are having an engagement party, a bridal lunch, a groomsman's lunch, a bridal shower, a bachelor party, a bachelorette party, a rehearsal dinner, an after dinner party, a wedding reception, and honeymoon bon voyage send-off party. Refreshments will be provided at each, but we ask a gift of $50 minimum value for each party you attend. You can find our wish list on Amazon. We are so excited for you to share our happiness. 2 years later, dear Miss Manners, I just gave birth and the woman who sits in the cubicle next to mine at work didn't send me a push present. In fact, she didn't even go to my baby shower or my gender reveal party, and she's never given me a Mother's Day gift or even a card after I had my first child. Is she a bitch, or what? Pressure to have children. So many times I've heard, well, if you don't, your bloodline ends with you. Children are happiness. You'll change your mind. Well, why don't you hold my baby? It'll change your mind. That's cause you haven't seen my kid. They're so adorable. Like, no, I don't enjoy children. They're normie to no end. Holding or seeing your crotch goblin won't make me suddenly want to have my own. I would rather save the money and enjoy existence over having an 18+ year commitment when I can barely afford my own life. It's stressful and I shouldn't have to constantly be pushed towards it because of some false belief that parenthood is the only true happiness that can exist, and if you aren't a parent then you're wasting your life. There's enough people in the world. Me adding more isn't necessary. Tipping. Seriously, the only thing tipping does is disincentivize employers from paying people a decent wage. Customers are already paying for the food. Why should they also collectively subsidize an employee's wages? If an employee does a spectacular job at something, then perhaps tipping is appropriate, but we do it because it is expected and become a cultural norm in America. Dress codes at school. Been hearing about how girls in the USA get punished if wore anything that seems inappropriate, like midriff, strap tops, cleavage and short shorts, but if boys wore them, they don't get punished. In the UK, most high schools require uniform, but they are outdated as girls can have an option to wear trousers or skirts, but boys have to wear trousers all year through, even in the sweltering heat. Shorts isn't an option. Also think uniforms are just too expensive. I used to think it was unfair that Muslim girls get to wear trousers for pay while the rest had to wear shorts, no matter how cold the weather was. Retirement. Not the idea of being done working when you grow old. That would be crazy. I'm talking about the fact that I have to save up my own retirement money myself and hope my job will help contribute. I know nobody under 30 that can own a home, own a vehicle, and have one job that can pay for all of that. Never mind saving up for retirement. Wedding ceremonies. Marriage is fine. I don't mean we should get rid of marriage. Just the ceremonies. Most weddings are overblown, absurdly expensive, obligatory, and totally artificial. It's a default activity based on ancient traditions that haven't made sense for hundreds of years. Just become married. Save your money for a house and leave me out of it. I'll send a gift and my congratulations in the mail. The idea that video games are for kids. This mentality has never held up. Even back in the 80s when gaming was just getting started, sure most games were kid friendly, but just because it's inoffensive enough for kids to enjoy, doesn't mean it's only for kids. I defy you to show me a kid that can easily play stuff like the original Super Mario Bros. Without dying and having to restart. On a similar note, people who hate on video games for being lazy or brain-dead entertainment, yet sit around watching sports where they literally just stare and have no interaction with the entertainment. Like and subscribe for more edit videos.